Are meditation and mindfulness accepted as a part of public education framework in the USA? If so, are they implemented on a satisfactory level? Can you suggest more effective ways to operate them for our audience here?
Mindfulness is still fairly new to most public schools in the United States. It's growing in popularity and has grown a lot since the pandemic. Mm-hmm. I think a gift from the pandemic is that we've all realized that attending to our own emotional well-being and that of our students is really important. In the past, I think academics came first, but now we see that feeling good helps us to be better teachers and helps us to be better learners. So we're adjusting more to that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Megan. That's quite interesting. You mentioned COVID-19 will be blessing for us because the education system slowly accepts this meditation and mindfulness. Yes, mm-hmm. I agree that. In Korea, we also have that kind of opinions and also some trial to introduce meditation and mindfulness in the schools and universities. Thank you very much, Megan. That's a beautiful answer. So now I'd like to ask a question to Susan. You're waiting for us. And are meditation and mindfulness actually being practiced among individuals and at home in the USA? If so, how are they practiced? Would you assess the current status of mindfulness education at schools and homes? You have developed the Inner Kids program, aren't you? Yeah. The first ever mindfulness program in education field. What was the background of developing Inner Kids program? That's the question. And why do we need meditation education for children, educators, and parents?
Yes. Thank you. And first, I want to thank you all for having me. It's such an honor to be sharing a screen, I guess, with Megan and all the wonderful work that Megan and her organization, Mindful Schools, have done here in the United States and abroad. So it's just a privilege to be with her on the screen. And Venerable, it's wonderful to meet with you. And I hear you are also doing strong work in Korea. And I really look forward to learning more about that. So first, just let me thank you so much for having me. I believe the first question was what's happening here in the US with mindfulness and families at home, and what does that look like? And generally speaking, it's similar to schools. I mean, often now children will learn some mindfulness activities or some mindful games or some mindful songs, and they will bring them home. We hear wonderful, wonderful stories of parents who are all stressed out and upset in the front seat during traffic, and the children in the back seat giving them mindful prompts to help them settle and calm themselves. Mm-hmm. And as wonderful and as fun as it is when the children introduce mindfulness to their parents, we still encourage parents to practice on their own so that they can actually embody this for their kids. Similar to what Megan was saying about their emphasis being on teachers, we believe that if parents learn the practice themselves, that there'll be a ripple effect, and that the benefit of their own practice will ripple out without really having to do anything special to affect the entire system in their family, their children, their spouses, their friends, the community. With respect to the Inner Kids program, I began developing mindful games for kids when my grown children were little. That was long ago. They're now 30 years old and 27 years old. And I was a practicing lawyer at the time, and I was a meditator, and I found that meditation was helpful for me in many, many ways, including in the areas of concentration, grounding, and balance. And at that time, there wasn't a secular program really out there for children. And so I took some of the activities or practices that I learned as an adult and just experimented on my children. They were my guinea pigs, and that is the beginning of Inner Kids and of the activities. Since that time, I have been working with schools and with parents and with families around the world. It's been about 25 years, and we're pleased to say that the Inner Kids program is one of the first programs in education. There was research published on, peer-reviewed research published, which now is quite some time ago. So that is the arc of the Inner Kids program. And last, mindfulness meditation's effectiveness and the necessity for children and educators and parents in terms of attention, concentration, sense of balance, et cetera, on the educational level. I think Megan has been, Megan's organization and what she was saying earlier is a great example of how, especially since the pandemic, there has been a shift in a real understanding that mindfulness actually needs to come first before learning. It is very difficult, if not impossible, to learn when your nervous system is on high alert and when you're feeling guarded or armored. And mindfulness helps you to settle, to help you open your perspective, to help you have a wider perspective and be able to see or be more aware of what's happening within and around you more clearly and less reactively.
Thank you, Suzanne. It was so wonderful. You relate to your own story, how you applied to yourself first mindfulness and compassion and this meditation, and also you try to adapt to your own family. That I think is quite ideal and quite wise approach. Yeah, and you slowly expand to this your school and added that peer review, actual research, scientific research, and as a result, you get this kind of wonderful system, mindful education in USA. Thank you very much. There's a lot of insight, wisdom we may learn from you. Thank you.